Guys, pissing down outside, and I just thought I'd go over a quick bit of stuff I do when it's on my name, and I've got to sharpen some knives. So these are 3 knives I use. This is the Buck Skinner knife. I think they call it like a hollow grind or a Scandi grind. Well, that tip's been somewhat mirror polished. Put that one down. That's the Argali knife. This is SV, what is it, 35VN. So that's been, see the edge retention on that one. Yeah. That one's been somewhat mirror polished. I'll go over this Buck one again. That one's got a, that's a big edge on that one. But that is a standard Buck steel. So it's actually very, very easy to sharpen, which just makes life a lot easier. And this one is a new one I got this year. This is from R&M Blades. And again, we'll use this on a fellow buck in March. And general duties when hunting as well. That one. This is Magna Cut steel. So they all have different steel. They all need to be worked a certain way, and they all have different blades and different angles. Oh, this one has a real tighter edge on it, the Argali. If you can see, it's very, very thin. Yeah, very thin. So this one you can have a bit more of a less of a steeper angle on it. So when you're sharpening it, it's about on that angle there. Okay. And this one here, it's a little bit thicker. All right, but the edge on this one, it's a beautiful skinning knife. I've used this a few times over the years, and it's hard not to take that knife with beautiful dexterity on it. Nice bit of skinning work. It is a great shaped knife. One of my favourites actually, and they're quite cheap. I think I would say you're probably about $130 for that one there. The Argali, I can't remember what I paid for it, but that one is very light. Still a very good knife. Lots of dexterity. You see this little edge there, there's a little hollow out. That is actually for your striker steel. So to get a flint off, it works very, very well. Very well. And that can get a fire going with that strike steel very easy, and a lot better than what the steel, the flint steels to get a fire going. And this is your obviously your helium. I've got a little message on that one, death by sword. Great knife. I've got a couple of these. This is my second one. The other one, my knife, my wife, I've given that to her, and that's a little neck knife when we go away. But that's the helium there. And guys, I can't remember how much this was. I think they're $200 or something like that. But all 3 knives are very, very good, and they all have their purpose. I usually like to carry at least these 2 when I go away. I don't like disposable blades, because I don't believe a knife is disposable. Once you use it, I believe you should be able to sharpen that steel or that blade to get it back again. Disposable blades, people leave them out in the bush and leave them all sorts of places, and they just end up in landfill. So I would encourage people, if you're going to use a scalpel style blade for doing fine work, get something like the helium and do your max base work with either these 2 blades, right, which break down animal very nicely and very easy, and then scalpel with that. Try to stick away from the disposable blades, guys. It's a throwaway system, and it's no good. Like, they were never around before, and we never need them then. All you need is a very nice sharpened knife for scalpel work such as this helium by Rob. Now, I've got a few techniques what I do after I use a wet steel, a wet stone, 1000 grit. I will come into my shed once I use the 1000 grit, and I'll use a bit of rouge, a bit of polishing compound. Now this, on my dad's old belt, which I'll grab from here. This is my dad's old belt. He's passed away now, but if you can see that it is polished up, and this is my strop. This is how I polish the edge and get some final details down. Now some steel likes to have more of a serrations, fine edge serrations. They work very well that way too. But if you want to get a bit of a mirror and get it really fined up, an old belt like this with a bit of rubbing it all over that works fantastic, and that's my strop. I'll just hang that up in the shed. If you want to go to the next step, now I don't invest much in more sharpening stuff, but I've used multiple tools in the shed to help me refine an edge. Now this is just an older Zito, Dremel, whatever, it's all the same, and I use a wool-based jag or spongy at the end, and I'll put that material on that too, and I'll rotate this along the edge of the blade, obviously spinning the correct way so it doesn't tear up the wool on the Ozito, spin around, and that works very well as well. But guys, that was just a quick induction into the knives I use and how I like to keep them sharp. If you have any questions or whatnot, guys, you can more than happy to answer any comments. Thanks guys.